In 2019, St George's PCC voted to recognise the climate emergency, and we agreed on an environment policy for our church. Since 2019, we have achieved a huge amount together. We had the Our Earth, Our City event at Holy Trinity Ball Lane, attracting over 5,000 people. Visitors enjoyed the Gaia Earth installation and were invited to reflect on the threats to our planet. We joined the Rise to the Moment campaign for the COP26 climate conference, writing prayers on origami boats, which were used to engage with local MPs and councillors before being displayed at the COP conference. We have prayed regularly for the climate and learned together about changing our lifestyles in a series of Zoom training events. Many members of our congregation have taken actions to reduce their own personal impact on the planet, and we have shared these to encourage one another. Since we set out on this journey in 2019, we have seen many more examples of why we need to act urgently on climate change. The past 10 years, 2015 to 2024, have been the 10 warmest years on record. Arctic sea ice is melting at 12% per decade. These changes are fueling extreme weather events around the world. In 2020 to 2023, the Horn of Africa was hit by an ongoing drought, resulting in 30 million people across Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia facing food insecurity. Scientists have established that both the droughts and the severe flooding that followed in 2023 to 24 were exacerbated by climate change. Whilst the world's poorest people continue to suffer the terrible effects of climate change, the impacts are also hitting developed countries. For example, the recent terrible wildfires in California, the fires in Australia in 2019 to 2020, and the flash floods in Spain in 24, which cost over 200 lives, have all been shown to have been exacerbated by climate change. These impacts are set to escalate with every fraction of a degree that the global temperature continues to rise. Globally, humankind is on a journey. Currently, we are heading towards a 2.5 to 3 degrees of warming. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the UN, commented that we are on a highway to climate hell with our foot still on the accelerator. However, there is an alternative destination. We can limit climate change by reducing carbon emissions, and there is a worldwide effort to reach net zero carbon emissions. In order to keep the internationally agreed goal of keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius, we need to reach net zero globally by around 2050. This is a huge and urgent challenge. We all have a role to play. So how are we to respond as Christians? The Bible tells us that God loves the world that He created and the creatures that He made to inhabit it, human and non-human. He said that it was very good. He gave humankind the responsibility to look after His creation. This is a challenging time to fulfill that calling. However, Jesus has promised to be with us to the very end of the age. That's why we are on this journey together as a church. While the problem is urgent, it is going to take time to disentangle our lives and societies from fossil fuels and other sources of greenhouse gases. As Christ's pilgrim people, we are called to keep going, to not grow weary in doing good. The aim of this series of studies is to reflect on what we have done so far and to refresh our vision for the next steps of the journey.